Introduce, I've got Jack Chang, who's the CEO of MIH Consortium. I have Edward Hightower, who's the CEO and President of Lordstown Motors. And then I have Praveen Penmetsa, thank you, of Monarch Tractor. And then thank you as well for joining us is Frank Mediri from DEV. Thank you so much. What I'd like to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Jack to start with and just have each of them give a quick overview of their company, and then each of them will have an opportunity to do that, and then we'll kick off with a couple of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it to you, Jack. Thank you.
A little bit of introduction for myself. I'm Jack Chen. I'm the MIH Consortium's CEO. It's sponsored by Foxconn, and we are actually an ecosystem for the supply chain to manage the relationship and support all these initiatives for the next generation EV from the hardware. So we have about 2,500 members right now, software, hardware. So it's an honor and also a pleasure to be in CES. So I want to turn it to Ed to introduce himself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack. Good afternoon. My name is Edward Hightower. I'm the CEO and President of Lordstown Motors.
Hi, this is MXUX. That's the little scene presentation from CES 2023, the panel discussion with Hightower, Jack Chen from MIH, and the heads of Monarch Tractor and IDEV. What I'm going to start with here is a condensed coverage of this panel discussion with some comments by Jack Cheng and Hightower, and then I have a few news items to follow at the end that are current with Lordstown Motors. I hope you guys like the video. Let me just get on to the
Thank you, Jack.
discussion.
Good afternoon. My name is Edward Hightower. I'm the CEO and President of Lordstown Motors. We are a original equipment manufacturer of electric vehicles targeting the commercial fleet segment. We have our Endurance on the floor here, our full-size battery electric pickup, second most popular segment in the United States, and the Endurance is was a semi-finalist, but now finalist for North American Truck of the Year. So we're looking forward to the final jury's decision on January 11th. We are unique in that we have a partnership with Foxconn that goes beyond the contract manufacturing of the Endurance at the Foxconn EV Ohio plant, which we sold to Foxconn back in May of 2021. We have an agreement by which we will be developing future electric vehicle products in collaboration with the Foxconn EV ecosystem, including the MIH Consortium going forward. So that will allow smaller OEMs like us to gain scale by working with a common hardware and software component set for future vehicles. And our team, our Lordstown team, will do all of the design, engineering, homologation, testing, industrialization of future EV products for Lordstown, for our brand of vehicles, for our commercial fleet customers, and for other OEMs. So we're really excited about our asset-light and innovative business model, and I'm really pleased to speak with each of you today. Thank you. I would add to that, as Jack stated, is the collaboration will drive scale, and scale is the secret sauce, if you will, of reducing costs and providing more value to the customers. If we are able to reuse components, if we're able to reuse bills of material, bills of process, if we're able to reuse engineering solutions, we're able to bring products to market faster and at a lower cost. So that collaboration, like Jack said, you rarely see it in the automotive industry, and you definitely don't see it across OEMs. Having worked for 3 global OEMs over my 30-year career, oftentimes it was a challenge to get collaboration within the same company. So it's definitely innovative to pursue and to achieve collaboration across multiple OEMs, but the benefits are very, very clear.
Cost is also important as what Ed and Praveen just said, in terms of the scale, we're gonna drive this with the help from Foxconn, the partner, and also with all the branding guys, that we will be building a critical mass and then make sure everything is hunky-dory for cost and timing. So you will not see the vehicle to be developed in the next 5-6 years for a model change. You will have to see the new model with the digitalization of 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, or 2.1, 2.2. Every 3 months you have a new update. So that's something that we need to do it for our next generation. So be it.
I just wanted to break in here a minute and point out that Jack just said we're putting all the pieces together to create critical mass. This is what's taking place behind the scenes at Foxconn, and when they're ready to launch, everything is going to be ready to go. So I think that's a critical comment he just made.
You know, I'll, if I may, twist the question a little bit. I won't wave a wand, but I'll tell you where I think the industry is going to be in the future. I think you're going to see more commonality and more specialization at the same time. If you look at the propulsion system of an electric vehicle, the batteries, the motors, the thermal system, the inverters, BMS, power electronics, that's 50 to 60% of the bill of material or the material cost of the vehicle. There's not always a justifiable case for there to be so many versions and variants of that. If we can gain greater commonality in those high cost, high time to engineer subsystems, and if we can gain commonality in some of the basic architecture behind the many computing modules that are in the vehicle, both on the hardware side and the software side, branded companies and EV design companies, and companies like, like us, like Lordstown Motors, we could design, engineer vehicles that are more tailored to meet the needs of OEMs or of our customers, and gain the benefits of scale of that 50-60% of the material cost, which allows those products to be more accessible to them, better value to them because they're more tailored to them, but they don't carry the cost from all the specifically designed products, components. So I think over time we will, just like we don't say you're on mute anymore, and we don't say information superhighway anymore, I think range anxiety is going to go away. I think over time, as the more people get familiar with the attributes and benefits of electrified vehicles, and infrastructure develops, charging infrastructure further develops on the road, and more people put charging units in their homes, the issue of range anxiety is going to decrease significantly. I drive an EV. I've been driving EV for some time. I'm very used to charging it in my garage. Getting back into an ICE vehicle whenever I have to travel and I can't get one from the rental car company, that's the strange experience for me. So I think we're on that path.
That was a very good panel discussion that was overlooked and thinly covered from CES. What follows here, there's a lot of interesting information there. Got a couple of legal things to go over here real quick. And also another event that happened that I think the American press and the business press and just in general has been ignored with regards to the Foxconn-Lordstown partnership. So let's take a look. Okay, this first thing is about the nuisance short lawsuit that has been filed. I believe it's in Delaware. This is the procedural thing that was filed, saying that there's some I wasn't dotted. There's been a motion, Lordstown has put in a motion to expedite this. The judges granted the motion. I think this is all moving towards the fast coming start of full or roll up of production of the Endurance. This next piece, this involves when Steve Burns left Workhorse. There was an IP was transferred, that being the Endurance pickup truck, and as part of that deal, I believe it was the first 50,000 trucks, a royalty would be paid to Workhorse. Was it $500 a truck or $300 a truck? Something along that order. You guys can look that up. This is another piece on this same topic. You can pause this and read this. Anyway, again, this is in preparation for rolling up production. Lordstown wants to cancel that agreement because, let's face it, it's a whole new truck. So I don't think the agreement applies anymore. They've completely redone the Endurance. And it looks like, again, they're looking to clear this up before ramping production on the vehicle. I just wanted to add this piece here from Investopedia. Just to give you an idea of how powerful and influential Foxconn is, and I think that this is a factor that American investors and the American business community is overlooking. This is, let me just set China's had a restrictive COVID policy. They just recently lifted their COVID policy to allow the country to get back to work and so forth. Let me just read this. iPhone assembler may have played a big part in China's decision to ease its zero COVID policy. Terry Gao, who is the former CEO of Foxconn, and I believe he is chairman emeritus of the board, so on, wrote to government leaders last month to plead for fewer restrictions, blah, blah, blah. The Wall Street Journal reported. So on November 3, this is the next day, shortly after Gao sent the letter, a party-run health publication described the virus symptoms as short-lived and mild, a reversal from previous depictions. They called it so severe it merited quarantine. Health officials and government advisors used the letter in subsequent. I'm not going to go on with this article here. You guys can look it up. Okay. This is Foxconn's partner. The founder of this company, Foxconn, Terry Gao, writes a letter to Xi Jinping, and the next day, the country, China, changes its COVID policy. So I just wanted to give you an idea of, how well respected Foxconn is and the power it has globally. And I think this just demonstrates what a great partner Foxconn is for Lordstown Motors. And again, I think the business community, the investment community, the American public is underestimating Foxconn and underestimating Lordstown's partnership with Foxconn. This is a very powerful team, and Foxconn is a very powerful company, and they're going to pivot to battery electric vehicles, and that pivot point is Lordstown Motors. Okay, guys, I hope you like that. I don't think people have even noticed this fact. I think it's important.